Hello, you beautiful people. Let's get started. First of all, let's make it so you can see me and my fabulous... What's my hair like? I've got a horn. Uh, it is boiling at the moment. What's the temperature in my room, actually? 28 degrees in my room, Celsius. So what's that in Fahrenheit? 28 into Fahrenheit. That's 82 Fahrenheit. So for some people, that's probably not very hot. But because my room's so small, I need my fan on. With my fan on, I can't use my nice mic because it will pick up the fan, or it will make the audio I speak a bit more wobbly and stuff, and it won't sound very good. So unfortunately, I can't have my good microphone on, unfortunately. Let's get some music up in here. Hold on a minute, where's Lofi? Is Lo-Fi not streaming right now? It's usually like 24-hour. Is it not? Oh, I guess I'll play this. There we go. Alright, so I think right now I just want to do some 3D modeling. Like I'm not in the mood to texture. Yeah, to texture stuff. So I kind of just want a 3D model. So first of all, turn on back face culling to get rid of the roof. Here I am, right. I'll fix the back face culling on this. And I'm gonna start just placing things roughly in the right area than they're gonna be in reality. Or in the scene. So we'll place around some of these chairs. Let's get the Simpsons up again. Simpsons Kitchen. I kind of want to make like the cooker, the fridge, the table. Because if I make all the assets now and then start slotting them together when they're in engine, it'll be easier to sort of piece together. So tiny bit smaller, I think. Let's make its origin point. Actually, I'll show you guys this because I always do it the other way. But you can actually go into tools and make it so you only affect the origin. So if I pull that down to where I want it, if we isolate this, go like this, pull it down to here, rotate it so it's aligned with it, place that there, turn off origin. Now when I scale and move stuff, we'll move around the origin. I tend to don't do that. That doesn't sound correct. Anyways, I don't usually do that because I'd rather just grab it and pull it and move it to where I want in edit mode. But with that said, it's not necessarily a bad way to do it. I just don't tend to do it that way. Now I'm going to pull this down a little bit actually while we're here. A little bit down there. Let's get a nice little rotation in there. Cool, make those higher up. Sweet. And we have we have one of our chairs. Now, if I go here, we should be able to see the layout, and in the layout, I might be able to see roughly where the chairs are placed. That I can. So the chairs actually take up quite a lot, so I might have to scale up a bit more. Do something like this. Now, I technically will only need one chair. But if we can get all the placement correct, and then I can UV map it and stuff later. Nah, that takes up way too much. Am I crazy? I mean, that's as much room as it's got there, but when you look at it in real life, like, look how tall they look. I'm going to scale it down to... Well, first of all, they're not touching the ground. That would make them a bit shorter. But if we look at the concept, or the thingy, that kind of looks like they're very short chairs, but they kind of look like they're just a tad taller than the sides. Here, they look lower than the sides. So it really depends what we want to use as reference. But let's make it just a tiny bit... Oh, well, it doesn't help that they're also lifted off the ground. So we're not actually going to use these sides. These were basically placeholders to help just get some of the background detailing in. Wait, was it not? Oh, it's not flying off the ground. I just went underneath the plane I have there. Right, that's fine. All right. So lift that off the ground. So I want to make it just a tad bigger like this. And again, they are small chairs, so I'm not too against. Like, look how tiny they are. Excuse me. Hey, that tech guy. Hey, yes. Hey, Mega Cool Man. How's it going? Also, that tech guy, I've not seen you for a while. Nice to see you around. For anyone wondering what the scene looks like. So, unfortunately, I can't render it in full on stream. I need to figure out if it's because I need a better graphics card, because Lumen, from what I'm aware, uses uses ray tracing. Like if I go Lumen minimum graphics card requirement. So it says the cheapest one you can use Lumen on is the 970. There is a UE5, sorry, Lumen minimum requirements. The actual documentation website says it requires a 1070 or higher. So it may be because it needs a graphics card that can actually do ray tracing, because it technically does ray tracing. Hardware ray tracing requirements. So I'm wondering if it runs slightly slower on my PC because I have a 1K series, so it's 1070. I have a 1080 Ti. Yeah, I've been working on my house, moving and selling soon. Okay, I'm gonna buy 490. Wow. Okay. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure the reason it runs slower on my PC and I have trouble streaming is because I have a card that wasn't designed for ray tracing. The 2K series and onwards were. So when I finally do upgrade, hopefully we'll be fine. But I can literally see right now that I'm lagging out because I'm reviewing this. So yeah, we're doing this room at the moment. I need to make a better cabinet. Again, this was made very quickly, not very good. You can tell which scene, you can tell which part of the house was made with a bit more tender love and care. And it's because it was the focal point. If you get given a project by any industry or whatever, and they say to you, we want this specific part for all our cinematics, focus all your efforts on that part. And everything else you could just see as background, because the other parts won't matter, right? Like, now I've added a bunch of stuff over here, like the record player, and I've got like extra detailing on these to give them like the normal effects and whatnot. And like with the cans that I've added recently. But this one room was the focus of where they wanted all the cinematic shots from. So it was where they most detail was made. This scene, I knew I was going to see in the background, like this. But it's not very good. I could have done a much better job on the couches and stuff. The table's just a tiny texture. No other extra detailing on it. I think the piano came out alright. But again, it's not anything special. So yeah, I need to... this will be the next room we properly revamp to make it look good. Might even get some grunge maps and spider webs and stuff for corners and whatnot to give it a bit more detailing. Oh, there you go. The lighting's fixed in and out. Then we'll probably move on to here. Well, kitchen's probably next, and then it's here, here, and then we'll just go from there. I've made all these rooms, at least blocked them out. Yeah. I can barely use UE5 now, just opening uses 4GB VRAM. That's all I have on my 980. Oh my god. The house is looking cool. Thanks, man. We've got Bart's skateboard in the corner. I put a lot of detail into the skateboard, but the problem with putting detail into something that you only want to see from one angle means all that bonus detail you did underneath, just can't even see because of the lighting in here. Can I change the lighting? There you go. Look, they made it all grunged up and stuff and gave it all this extra detailing, but you're only ever going to see the top of it. Because that's how I'm going to have it set up. So let's say put a second skateboard in the scene of it flipped over. Cool. Hopefully I'm not laggy now, yeah. Table. So the table just is literally just a cloth over it. So let's spawn a cylinder in. Now, I don't mind having actually extra detail, so let's get rid of that. Cylinder. Let's go 64. Whoa. Now these are all going to be tucked in, right? So we'll do something like this. A bit less than that, move it over. A bit smaller. Something like that. So all tucked in, and when they pull out for people to sit on them, they get pulled out to like here, 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 whoops, here. So yeah, I think that's enough room. You can still squeeze behind and everything. That's full. That's cool. That's full. Cool. Now this scene, as I've said before, is kind of a mix between realistic and kind of a style. Because I want it to look as much Simpson-like as possible. And don't get me wrong, if I could make it look super ultra realistic, I would, but I'm not that good. So we're kind of going with a mix between the two, where it doesn't look cartoony, but because of all the vivid colors and stuff, like the way I shaped the telly and stuff, like I didn't make it a real telly. I took their telly and made their telly kind of work in a real way. You know what I mean? I need to make this better. This isn't very good. But yeah, so I'm working on that at the moment. Now, do I need to put detail on this table because it's just got a cloth over the top? So if I actually isolate this out, let's spawn in. Let's send just send origin, then we do cursor to active. Do select it. There you go. And then we go circle. Make it bigger than that because it's going to drape over. Probably like this. Pull this in. That's fine. Swap it. Yep. Put it like there. Do one more. Merge center. Grab a load of these. Do a. Not subdivide now. We'll do a cloth simulation now. Okay, I'm clearly blind. Where's cloth? BD, not there. CC, not there. Cloth, there you go. And we need to give you a physics. There's definitely a different menu for this, right? Yeah, there you go. Collision, there you go. And if we simulate now... Wow, that bounced so much. Okay, so we need to change some of the cloth settings for it. Less tension? Less compression? I mean, it kind of does what I want afterwards, but it needs to be dangled down more than that. Is that because I need more edge loops? Why don't we subdivide first? Pull the subdivide up. Then go. That's a bit better. Yeah, it was where it was like hitting it. Thingy. That's pretty good, actually. It's pretty much what I want. The only problem is it gets a little higher on the edge, so I could always just pull that up in the mesh afterwards. Still 2 subdivides. Do one more. Wait for it to relax. Silence consistent. Something I think I would struggle with. Yeah, that's the thing at the end of the day, isn't it? It's how consistent you can make it that's gonna give you the best quality. And I like to think I'm good at keeping my style consistent. And everything would end up looking super realistic. True. Well, it's like if you look at some of the recreations of the Simpsons scenes. Simpsons living room. Real life. Like, I know what they're going for, but it just doesn't look like The Simpsons. Hey, look, it's mine. My couch is way better now. I made the couch more couch-like instead of having this, like, massive curve on it from the center point. What the heck? It's my scene and that scene. Yeah. Like, obviously, that's like The Simpsons and stuff. Wow, $64. But every time I see a real scene, it's kind of like a representation of The Simpsons, but it doesn't look like The Simpsons. That's a bit closer, but still. Yeah, because I still want it to look like The Simpsons when I'm done. You know what I mean? So that's pretty good. I applied both modifiers to that already. If we smooth, it's already smooth. I could subdivide it one more if I really want and get some of this really nice detailing in it. Apply to that. Now we've got all of this detail. Now that's fine because we're in UE5. I could always attach a nanite to it. But Yorkshire. But what we could also do is if I was caring about optimization and keeping it low, I could keep it like this. So that's still pretty high poly. So I'd have to come into here, probably select every other. Now, there are decimation tools you can use. A lot of the time, they work pretty well. But when I've got it open here and now, I like to kind of just do it manually. Now, that's all up to, you know, your own personal preference. Loop. If we actually look at this, if it's completely flat, what we could do is get to, like, here. Like that. And that's already saved a lot of polygons, even if we were to subdivide it now. So what we got for it crashes. I assume Yorkshire meant for sure, but I wasn't sure. We've got a lot less detailing here. But yeah, what you could do is just take this one, use this other one as a high poly, and then bake that information down. But it's still a very good idea to do both. But I kind of want to just go with high poly and see how we can make it look in engine. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty exactly what I want. These, annoyingly, I do have to worry about the chairs. If we look at the actual scene, I close it down. Did at Simpsons living room, sorry, Simpsons Kitchen. So the chairs actually sit underneath the cloth. Does that mean the chairs are even... The chairs are pretty short. Like, if we look at the chairs, look how low down they are. So either I raise this up to compensate. Do something like that. Or we lower the chairs even more than I had. Which I'm fine doing, I think. Or we could do a mixture of both. We could always lift the table up a little bit. Which is an alternative as well. Whenever you're working from a reference that isn't a real life reference, you'll always come into problems where you have to make decisions what you think looks more realistic in your scene and what you think doesn't. I don't know if that's an obvious thing people would say, oh yeah, obviously, Steve. But it's something you do need to consider. Very interesting. So because we subdivided this, you can come into problems. I can just do that and then pull it down. We have now a lower chair. But it does mean it's slightly bent. But that might be a good thing because it's a bit more offset now. Cool. So I want to tuck it so it just fits under snug. Which means I can lower the table just a tad like this. Cool. Then we go about putting 3. I'll put 3 in for now. I still need to UV map the chairs separately and get one done and then duplicate the engine. So that's the table and the chairs. Now the cloth on top probably means I don't actually need this. But if I were to make it so players could fly around the scene, they could fly under the table. So maybe just for that reason, I'll actually model kind of a table. So if we always use reference, so if we think, okay, what does a circular table look like in reality? We've got like a really simple design here. Now, I want to know what it looks like from the underneath. Well, that's interesting. That's not the table we'll be looking at. We want something more than this. So it has like a square bit there, and then you got the legs. Now, in The Simpsons, the legs come out diagonally, so it could be metal legs. So a more realistic way to do the Simpsons one. So let's actually look. What the heck is this picture of Homer? Why is he like dressed up as Flanders? Wait, look. Yeah. Oh, it didn't come out a slight actually. That's fine. So if we grab, I'm gonna grab cube. A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people don't like it that I use cubes for like everything, but I like using a cube and subdividing it because then I can custom make. I don't have to worry and go, oh, it's not got enough sides because I'm like this. Like, oh, it's not got enough sides. I can just subdivide it more. You know what I mean? And if I like got too many sides, I can just reverse some of that subdivision or pick what subdivision I got. Whereas if I got a cylinder, and I guess you can do it with cylinder, but if I say, oh, let's try to start with the perfect amount of sides, oh, let's keep it at, let's go, oh, we'll keep it at 64. Now I'm like, all right, let's start making a leg. Start making a leg, and then and then I go, oh, actually, that's too many sides. I can't really reduce that. I could decimate it and hope for the best. Why, it doesn't even let me. What? Oh, apparently I can't. I guess you could use the collapse. 0.5. I don't know, whatever. But with this scenario, with the cube, I can just change how many sides I want for it on the fly using subdivision. And I like that more. And yeah, I don't know if that's a common practice thing, but it's just like I prefer doing. So these are probably only slightly like 10%. So if we go boom, boom, boom. Maybe even less. Maybe 5. Actually, if I, yeah, go X, 5, Y, 5. Is that what? I want it to do 5% this way, 5% this way, like that. Can you use modifier to adjust the subdivision on specific faces? I want to say no. I don't think so. I mean, you can select a specific face, and then like you could do like your bevels on it and stuff like that. I mean, maybe you can do something with the modifier stat. Oh, right. Of course, it's circular. I can't just... got to pull it in. Let's actually just mirror it. Be way easier. Because it should mirror... Oh, wait. We don't have a center point. Hold on a minute. If we just go origin to cursor... like this, I should be able to then mirror it around the 3D cursor. Oh my. Why is 3D cursor like that? Huh? Because the 3D cursor is like slanted, you can see it. But if I go set to origin here, then go cursor. Actually, there's a button for it. Shift S? Yeah. We go cursor selected. It's having it slanted. Does that mean I've got to go rotations to then do it? So origin. Cursor selected. No. I don't know. If we go rotation and do it. Now I'm just learning. Cursor selected. No. Yeah, look. It makes my 3D cursor like slanted. I wonder what does that. And instead what we'll do then is we'll just go... this. No, I don't mind if it's a tiny bit offset. I just reset those. Well, I reset rotation, which should have been the main one, right? If I reset rotation, it should now be completely fine on its rotation. I could go all transforms, I guess. All transforms, but the problem is I want to set it to its surface. Maybe I need to set to volume. Then if we go cursor selected, that definitely did something great. Let's go back then. Maybe it's because I needed to do that. Either the... I'll do one first. I'll go to volume, and then I'll try doing it. It's volume. Okay, so if you do object, it has weird results, but if you do volume, it seems fine. So now if I select you, and we go selected to cursor, to add to selected to cursor. Nope. Oh, that's cool. I forget you can do that. Just pop it onto the cursor. Origins are origin to cursor. I don't even see that here. No. So if we go origin to 3D cursor. Oh, it's still slanting it. What? Why is the mirror doing that? Because I was basically hoping I could just... It's not even mirroring it because it's still... Okay. Because that's not a mirror anyway. Because it's still slanted in the same direction. Is it because I should have kept... Right. I see what I've done wrong. Okay. I haven't slanted it in edit mode. There we go. Nice. Cool. And then we just... This table is not central, apparently. Shift S, cursor, Shift S, cursor. Cool. Bring that down, bring that in. Get it roughly in the right spot. Oh, it's not tall enough. It's fine. I just need to raise it up. You raise me up. There you go. I know that was a really complicated way to just get some legs in, but I do what I want. It's my channel. Now, one thing I was thinking is, do I do a metal bar underneath now where these would connect to? Or do I do something like... like this underneath where they would connect to. See what I mean? I feel like that's a little too thick, but yeah, you get the idea. Bring them into the setup a little bit more. Maybe flatten this part out. That's definitely the way to go, I think. Then I could always delete the top as well. I don't know how they got so offset. Look. I don't manage that. Whatever. We end up with something like this. Now, I think that looks alright. I do wonder if I should get something like this coming off it. And make it look like it goes into like a... Oh, wait. It's not mirrored in that direction. So you. Let's mirror it in the other direction as well, so I can actually just change it all on the fly. For those of you who don't use mirroring as a common practice when you're doing your 3D, it's really, really useful. Because obviously, when I want to change this side, I'm changing all the sides at once. And it just makes, well, first of all, it makes everything perfectly aligned. But secondly, it's just really helpful. So if I align that to here, make it slightly slanted, do this. We can make it look like it's going into the point. No, it's different this side. Whoops. If I pull that to where it gets aligned, so a little bit out here, a little bit over here, it should align all the sides for me, because it's mirrored. It is not aligning all the sides for me. Very interesting. Oh, I guess it's not aligned here anyway. Oh, I don't think I've made it big enough. What I want to do is basically grab this, pull this in, and cap that. Is it because yeah, it's because this is not very spherical, is it? Or cylindrical is the better word to use. That is not slanted the right way at all. I've got it. Right. I was like, what is going on? Why does it say wrong? I've slanted it the wrong way. So let's redo that. So first of all, let's make it align so it goes into that slot like this. There you go. That's already a bit better. Let's go this part. grab that, pull that down, and then let's align that. So it needs to come to here, we'll slant it. Actually, if I do it perfectly, it needs to slant 5%. So if I slant it this way too, pull that back like this, now it perfectly sits in. Do that. Pull that up. Grab you, grab you and you. Do a bevel on that to make it sharp. Pull that in here, I guess. Cool, now it should look like we have these legs for it. Why is it not aligning in all directions, though? That's very interesting. What if we instead get rid of this, apply, or get rid of this, join them together, there we go. Now they are forced to be aligned because they're the exact same mesh. Perfect. And I think that is definitely more what we should be looking for here. For the actual overall shape of this. I don't need to click apply yet, because I need to get like little feet in them. So if we pull you down. Actually. See, sometimes it's just like a beam, and then right at the bottom, there's like a bit of rubber. In The Simpsons, it's just like the whole thing's one solid color, because it's drawing. But you don't want solid metal just on your floors that they can get scraped up, right? So why don't we fill, do something like this, and do like a little offset here, like that. Put these little feet on them like that, and there'll be like a little rubber or something. Click apply to both of those. It's going to be kind of highish poly, but that's fine for now. We'll sort out later. And with this, so that was a lot of extra detail that we didn't even really need. I just wanted it so there was actually something physically there. But we've got the cloth over the top anyway. Some are full metal fit. Oh, you're right, they do. I think rubber makes the most sense though. Or not rubber, actually. It's like a plastic. I don't have an example in here, but you get like that hard plastic at the bottom and it doesn't scratch floors. Well, not as badly. Badly? I want to get out of the way. I want to grab you and you. I want to turn on, off back face. See how much it goes over it. There you go. Pull it in. I obviously don't want it to go through, but I want it as tight as possible. Cool, and then bring it down to where it's on top of it. Nice. And there we go. We got the table. We got the chairs. Sweet. Next. What? Fortaleza CE Brazil. Excuse me. Is that just a... Oh, wait, Brazil or Brazil? What's that guy just wrote? Just put felt stickers to the bottom of mine. Are they just like sticky on the back and then you peel it off and it's like felt? Okay, where do we want to go next? I think the light. The light I want to do next. The light. So there's some really nice pictures. So I think like these are just drawn up by people. I don't think this is actually from the show. But they're still super, super helpful. I should get the curtains done at some point as well because I've got the texture done for them already. See, I'm not a homeowner or someone who even rents a place yet. I live with my parents still. Well, I say still. I only started living with my parents about 2 years ago. So from the age 25, 27 because of the pandemic and everything. So it was a bit harder to really find a place. And now when I look for rent, everywhere is so expensive that it's really off-putting to want to rent somewhere. Like, so I don't have those problems because I never have to care about furniture or anything right now. Is why I brought it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can separate this out into 4 different materials, 4 different meshes. We go 1 for this, 1 for this, 1 for this, and then 1 for the light itself, right? So let's make that 32. Now again, we're not too worried about. Live your parents by. See, I think that's a really good idea, but I'm very big on taking responsibility for yourself. I mean, I already pay rent at my parents, so I'm not actually saving that much. But I've in my entire life, except from after I left university, I've never had the luxury to live anywhere for free. I've always paid rent, no matter where I am, even here. So I know people who are like, yeah, like you just said, stay at home and save up. And I'm like, but I'm not fully saving anyway because I pay rent to my parents. But the difference here is, yeah, I'm paying less rent than if I got my own place, but I only have a 6 foot by 8 foot room. Whereas if I might pay double the price to have my own place, but at least I have my own place. That's like a kind of a catch-22 where I don't know if the benefits outweigh the costs. Now, we could always do like a little crinkle? A little, you know, like when you have a wire that's old enough that when you bend it, that bend stays. Not worth it. Well, it's still not worth getting a place. I mean, if you knew the limitations I have right now, I might say it is worth it. Living my whole life in a 6 foot by 8 foot room. This room has my computer. This is my mattress. I can't have a bed because the room's too small. So I just have a mattress that I put up against the wall when I wake up. Like, I'd agree if I had a bit more of a better living situation, but my living situation isn't particularly comfortable right now. So getting my own place, even if it is to rent, is pretty appealing right now. How did I just select the inside? Hold on a minute. Why did you... Oh, I didn't select the inside. Right, I selected the invert over there. That confused the hell out of me for a second. Let's pull this up. The oh hey Murphy bed. My parents wouldn't let me do that. No matter what I've recommended to improve my living situation, my parents won't even let me put up a shelf in here because they don't want holes in the wall. I don't even know what a Murphy bed is. 1 second. Oh, there wouldn't be enough room to install that. They'll take up too much of the wall, then I wouldn't be able to fit my ottoman in here. I had a feeling that's what a Murphy bed was. Oh, you're saying that this is a Murphy bed. I get what you mean. Oh my god. It's pulled away from the wall now. God, I'm getting sweaty. What temp? It's 29 degrees in here now. But yeah, I mean, finding my own place. The way I've said it actually in the past is it's probably still not worth it unless I find a place to live with somebody. I could actually just make this a separate mesh as well. Do that. Needs to be a bit. So if I can actually share a place with someone, it'll probably be worth it. And at the moment, it's not worth it because I can't share a place with somebody. You know what I mean? So if I can find a friend to move in with, it'll probably be worth it. Because the idea of splitting your bills like literally in half because you live with somebody is very appealing. Expensive though. It is expensive. I mean, if I got a place on my own, I'll probably be dishing out about £1,000 a month for bills, food, and rent. I shouldn't say how much I earn at the moment, but I will say that's over half of what I earn after paying all my tax and everything. So I'm only left with a certain percentage after that, so it's much harder to save up money. Whereas if I got a place with 2 people like me and someone else, yeah, the place might be an extra £100 rent because we're looking for because that's the problem right now. If you're looking for a 1-bedroom flat, it costs like between 500 to 600. If you're looking for a 2-bedroom house, it costs like 600 to 700. So in the worst case scenario, you're only paying 200 more, but you get to split that in half anyway. So if it costs you 700 instead of 500, the 700 is still only 350 because you're dividing it by 2 to share with somebody else, and then all your bills are split as well. And you can probably save money on food if you want to share food with that person. So at 350 rent, if we have all our bills on top, let's say they cost £200, and that's means £400 a month, which is pretty expensive. That's not usually how much you pay for bills. I've never had to pay £400 bills a month between me and one other person. But let's say I did. That's 750. Wait, it's 350. No, sorry, 200 I'm adding on top. Sorry, because split the 400 in half. 350 plus 200, 550. Then if it's £200 for food, that's 750. And I get a whole house that I share with somebody else. That's £250 more than if I lived alone, because I get to split everything. I'm still paying £200 for food a month, which is quite generous. It's like £7 a day, roughly. 30 days in a month, £7 each day. That's £210, which is still pretty generous. I don't spend that much on food usually. But I guess like toiletries, toilet paper, shampoo, shower gel, stuff like that. I get a bigger place. I pay about $500 for utilities and internet. What? What, on your own? Ah. Oh, ankle pain. God, I think when I lived with my mate Jack, we probably only paid internet and everything included, like probably $300 between the two of us, if not less. I know it's gone up a little bit now. In fact, I think it was less, like $250. How much did I used to give him? Our rent was $700. I gave him $350 for council tax and internet. I put that up by an extra $70. Then I think I used to give him an extra $50 on top of that. So it was about, so that's $120. So $240, I think roughly is what it cost us for our rent and for our bills combined. So $120 each. But let's say it was $200 each. I'd still only pay $750 a month. That's double. That's literally double what I pay now just to rent a room at my parents'. So that's probably worth it, in my opinion, right? Like, I get to... I'm only probably using up about 30% of my monthly earnings, maybe 35%. And I'm only paying double what I pay here, which, when I'm getting a whole house in return, is pretty worth it. I get a bit of food provided here as well, but I've included food in that calculation. I had a £200 on top. If we don't include food into the calculation, it would only be $550, which is pretty good compared to $375 that I pay now. A 3,000 square foot house. I can't tell if that sounds really big or not. Square foot, not cubed, so we're not talking height here. Oh, okay. And that's all your expenses with all those people included, right? Or are you saying you're paying all those expenses with just you? And then, so that £500 is split between all four of you. I say split, I don't know if they pay towards it. But what I mean is that's the use of 4 different people in the household. Instead of just one. Or 2 in my case, if I'm sharing. Sorry to anyone who's here actually wanting to watch 3D. I do this every time. I change topics around. We start talking about things. Actually. Was this on law for free? Yeah. I had a feeling he was going to say that. But what I meant was, like, it includes all of your pricing together. Like, you're not saying it's costing you 500 and then everyone else 500. Like, that 500 is covering everybody. But housing in general is very expensive right now. Like, with all the bills going up, with all the cost of living going up, it's a struggle. And as much as I really want to move out and get a place of my own again, it's just that the appeal factor of doing that and not just trying to mortgage a place, save up a bit of money and trying to mortgage a place. Like, it's just going, like, mortgage. I used to not care about a mortgage. I said, well, if I just wanted to get a place, I'd just rent. And I know people, oh, but you're just throwing money down the drain. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it means I can move whenever I want. There's no difficulties. Because I remember some people saying, like, oh, but if you wanted to move out your mortgage place, you could just sell your mortgage and buy another mortgage, like buy another place with the mortgage. I'm like, that's true and all, but even if you look at like some people I know firsthand, I've known people struggling to sell mortgages for ages and get a mortgage. So it's not as easy as people make out. Because sometimes you will run into difficulty. Sometimes you try to sell a house and it falls through 20 times. You know what I mean? So if I wanted to move around a lot, I still think renting's better. But right now, with how the economy's going, how expensive everything is, I don't know if it is. I don't know if I can agree anymore that renting is actually a decent option, when in reality, you probably should just mortgage somewhere. Don't like that. My tenant should be very happy I haven't upped the rent very much. Right? Right, Mega Cool Man? You just want to rent somewhere under 500. Like, I won't show you guys the screen right now because I don't want to reveal where I live. But let's, like, look at some examples. Let's say where I live right now. Now, I bet I can find some places at, like, 500 for a one-bedroom flat. Or maybe 450. We should just call this stream looking for a house. So let's say where I live. Right, so I'm not in rent right now. I'm in buy. Wow, that house is worth $500,000. Jesus. Rent property. Now, obviously, not everyone uses like I'm on Rightmove right now. Not everyone uses Rightmove, but it's quite a popular site. So, a one-bedroom apartment. That's it. £550. Can I? I want to show the pictures off of this without revealing where I live. Do this, and then do this. Oh, is that it? Oh, there's 3 pictures. That one. Oh, that's 4. Hold on a minute. Right. So, now I'm not in an expensive area. I want to clarify this. If I was looking for this place in London, it'd probably be worth £2,000 or something. I'm not in an expensive area. This area is £550 per calendar month. You got this room. There's a one-bedroom apartment. This is the same room, I think, except that's just behind you. Yeah, I have a feeling that's just behind you. It's just one kind of big room. This, I assume, is a separate room. That floor is disgusting. And then this is your bathroom. £550 a month. One bedroom. And I'm in a cheap area. Well, cheap. Like, what? What? That's all you get for £550? That's all you get for £6,600 a year? Is that right? Something like that. That's it? It's ridiculous. That is good, right? What, 550 for just that? You think that's good? I don't think that's good at all. Sounds horrible. It doesn't even look like a nice place to live. Look at how horrible it all is. You have to buy all your white goods as well, by the looks of it. There's no cupboards at the top. No. So that's not correct at all. So £550 to dollars is... So that's $661 a month for that. You got to remember, I'm not in a popular area. I'm not in somewhere that usually costs a lot anyway. And that's not any bills included. So that's $661 flat out just to get that little bit of room. Actually better than what I find. I mean, let me show you what it's like to actually go to a more... I'll show you like a mid area. Because like I said, this is supposed to be fairly cheap here. I want See, that's not too bad. I can show you this place, I guess, because I don't live here. So this is a place that's like maybe 2 trains to get to London. So it usually costs more the closer you are to London. So £900 and you get this. So it's not awful. I mean, £900 in dollars is... Whoops. 1,082. $500 for a studio. That's really cheap, actually, honestly. How much is that in pounds? That's £415. I know studios kind of suck, but that's still pretty good. So £900 or 895. 895 to... You don't even want to see what you get in London. 1,076. So this is $1,076 for this place. It's quite roomy. There's a bit here. But you got to remember, then you got the bills on top, and electricity's gone up like 2 to 3 times how much it used to cost. Houses for rent where you are. And you're saying yours is a better... Is there not a better site than this? Why do all the sites look so weird? So 1,100 a month. I mean, for the same price as the flat I just showed you, you get a whole house of land. It's not as nice looking, but you can always buy the stuff in to make it look nicer. So I'm... Anyways, like I said, I don't want to be too distracted from actually doing 3D work, because that's why people are here. Not for me to talk about how expensive everything is right now. It is a bit sad. The amount of posts I see where people are like, my parents bought a house for this much, this many years ago, and it was worth 50k. Now they can sell it for 600k. I'm like... But yeah, that's why I'm really interested in moving in with a friend. I did move in with a friend a little bit ago. My friend Jack, if people here would probably remember, because I used to go on stream with him, or used to stream with me, should I say. He used to sit in the background and sew, actually, while I was streaming. It was nice. I can't see which faces are what. Okay, this. I kind of want to raise it. I'll raise it a little bit higher. There you go. Make it a bit thicker. Cool. Wow! I really need to scale that up a bit. That's very small. Something like that. Let's go back to the Simpsons. It's, you know, a little bit smaller, I'd say. But I shouldn't have reduced the length of this. Am I selecting all of that? There you go. So it's actually quite long. Probably goes to about there. I also need to make this way more bulbous at the top like that. Pull you down to the connection there. And then I think I need to, in general, make this a do I need to make it larger? Oh, actually, you know what? It's not that much more bulbous. It's just a tiny bit. I still think I need to make this bigger, and then make this part come out more like this. Not quite. Like that? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. These parts, I think, need to go more like... My house I'm renting has doubled in price. Yeah, it's crazy. The house prices right now are just so nutty. I know I'm just preaching to the choir. Everyone would probably sit there going, "Well, yeah, that's why everyone's complaining right now." I know that's why everyone's complaining right now. But it doesn't make it any less baffling to me that that's how it's been going. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of sad. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's good. Definitely think up here needs to be a bit more... I don't know, actually. Here? This part rounder? Up more. Close in. That's fine. I definitely do think this needs to be, like, wider, though. Like, the whole thing. Like, including the light. Just, like, this. We'll leave it like that for now. Hey! Oh, Pixel Tuner. I've not seen you here before. Let's see what you got to say. Will there be animated characters in it too? No. I'm really gonna say no. I'm not a character artist. I've made one character in like 13 years that I'm proud of because I'm an environment artist. People always come in there. I'll read the rest of what you just said in a second. People always ask me when they come in chat. It's kind of sad because I feel bad for environment artists. People always come in and go, "Oh, characters," and I'm like, no, I'm not really a character artist. This is the last character I made not too long ago. But other than him, I've not really made any characters. Sadly, when you're an environment artist, that's usually where you got to focus all your attention and you don't have time to get good at character art. Or is it just for the nice scenario? Yeah, nice scenario. Looking fantastic so far. Thanks, man. You're not even good to see me flying around. He's messaging me. Oh, Mega Cool Man was sending me some stuff. How much is that place, did you say, Mega Cool Man? Check Discord. Oh, that bathroom is spicy. What do you do, Pixel Tuner? Ego, this is what the scene looks like right now in UE5. I can't full screen it because it gets too laggy, annoyingly. Again, this lag only happens on the stream. For me, it's fine. Like, the FPS here, like, this is fine. But for you guys, it's super laggy. I don't know why. Frustratingly, I don't know how to fix it. $700. That's $700. Is that euros, I assume? You can make the Simpson characters. I cannot. That would be so hard. Because, like, the problem is, well, like, 3D Simpsons characters. Is their geometry doesn't really make sense. Because the way that their hair and stuff works. Like, Mr. Burns, just call him Mr. Bean then. Makes sense. Oh, look at that 3D model. I know that's real life. So you could do something like that. Oh my god, look at Willy. Damn Scots. They rule Scotland. Not too bad at all. It's looking... it's still impressive. Thanks, man. It's just like... I made this scene for a sponsorship from the video, and I got it done in like 3 days. But basically, since then, I've been adding like these small details, like these cans. I added that. I made this section nicer. Added some records and stuff. And just sorted out... Oh, and got it all into UE5 instead of UE4 ray tracing. So, yeah, it's been a bit fun. Now we're working on the kitchen. Because I want to make, like, the entire house. I think it'd be really cool. So, let's do the curtains now. Now, one thing that's really bothering me... I say, first of all, I need to reshape all of this. Now, I'm probably going to be deleting all these cupboards and putting in separate pieces that I can attach together. But for now, that does sound... What's going on there? Okay, that does sound like this. Like this. And that's probably the right size there. Then this window actually is much wider, and it's not a double window either, it's a single. It might be that way. First of all, I need to lift it up as well because it's just above the sink. I think it needs to be a tad taller. This. Now I need to shape all this. What's happening in here? Aurora Borealis. Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, completely localized in your kitchen. Yes. May I see it? No. Why does this get thinner over here? Am I mental? Does it get thinner or is it just like losing height? Let me... Right, so yeah, it's not flat first of all. And I'll clip and clip that to the same as that. Grab all of it. Turn you off and pull you up till I can't see anymore. Oh, see, the only problem is, do I want to make it so all the edge loop does that, or do I want to just do it here? I think I just want to do it here. So what it is, this. Pull you up to here, grab you, pull you. Extra edges there that I didn't realize were there. Pull you up to here, and boom, we have our window. Now we actually have to put the window in, but it's fine. Realistic but looks creepy. Yeah, Simpsons in 3D is very hard to get right. I tried it once before, but not in Blender yet. Also, I'm not exactly new. I just was lacking for almost a year or so. Nice! What's the piece of work I've done that you appreciated or enjoyed the most? If you've been lacking for so long. I mean, in that time, I think you've only seen this scene and my boat scene. But if you've been watching for a bit, you would have seen me share my art station. So I guess you could technically say you like a scene you prefer from there anyway. I always like to know, because at the end of the day, I want to make stuff that you guys find more interesting. So if you go, oh, I like this one the most, then in my next project, I'll try to focus it more around that area. Wow, that is so thin. The heck? But that wall on the outside is so thick as well. I really need to bring this wall in. There you go. Cool. I don't know if I like the edge loops. Maybe I'll just make my own. Not edge loops, sorry, the bevels. So kind of just want these like that. Maybe a little too thick. Also, have you got anything you could show us, Pixel Tuner? I love being able to see other people's work as well. You don't have to, obviously. It's just a recommendation from me. I recommend we see some of your work, but you don't have to. That's like having a nice little look around, see what people can make. Because most of the time, you guys are way better artists than I am. And I'm like, oh. Well, all right then. Two ways to do this. I'm probably just going to select the faces, do an extrude, pull it in. Not too thick, actually. We'll do something more like that. Make it thinner than a frame it's attached to. So just a tiny bit thinner. There we go. Like that. I've also noticed that a lot of people tend to watch me. Oh, actually, I need to make it even thinner because they need to overlap. I need one here, then one in front of it. Like this, and they need to both fit in the gap that I've created for them. So, both a bit thinner, like this. And this one needs to come at the bottom because it's a sliding window. For those of you who don't know how these work, you have like a little lock here. And then when you unlock that, it goes... And you can sit it there. And you have an open window. Lovely. We have a window. Now, I wasn't expecting to make a window, but I realized that it looks very different than what I had, so... I want to bevel on all of it. Let's separate them out. I was watching the boat quite a lot, I guess, but I joined the stream way back when you made the game environment. The game environment? I love watching everyone says, "Ah, thanks, man." You guys are so nice to me. It's crazy. I sit here and I put myself down, like, say I'm not a very good artist, and say I'm just sort of, like, coasting along, not being good, but sort of pretending I'm good. And you guys are always coming in here like, "Oh, yeah, I love watching your stuff, man. So good." And I was like, "Ah." Yeah, that's pretty much the window. Now we need to do the curtains. See, I want to make better curtains. So the way that I kind of just want to reuse the curtains we got, actually, if I'm being honest. I wonder in here if I can reuse these efficiently, because they are just a separate curtain. They have a terrible origin point, I think. Oh, no, they don't. No, they've got a good origin point as well. So if I need to remake these as well. This is a terrible curtain setup. I know I've used the excuse a lot that this was rushed and done in a short period of time. And that's still the excuse I'm going to use, because it was rushed and done in a short period of time. But that doesn't mean I can't make it better. If we just do that, that kind of should work, right? Yeah. Then I wonder if we could take the original material, duplicate it. Right, curtain. Whoops. Curtain, and then I've got corn. I have caps lock on, I've just noticed. There you go. Throw that onto the curtain. Do a instance of that, apparently. Throw that instance on there. Come into here. Ah, right. Change the opacity so it ain't got too much light coming through. Perfect. The color's still technically yellow, but what I want to do is come into the original material. I should have on. Put that in here. Now this should be our color map because it's already got color on it. So what I'll do is Jesus Christ, it's very laggy. Come on. Come on. I'll desaturate. Wow, why is it having so many issues? It's because I'm streaming it at the same time, maybe. Oh, I only model stuff in Dreams PS4. Wow, that's cool. I could do Blender art too, but I'm just doing it for fun. Yeah, I mean, I was doing it for fun until I went to university at the end of the day. I started doing 3D when I was 13. I only went to university when I was 18. So for 5 years there, I was just doing it for fun. Then obviously when I was like, oh, I want to go to university, what do I want to study? I went, okay, let's turn what I enjoy doing in my spare time into my job. I wonder if an ad would be the best course of action here. No. Okay. Well, okay, first of all, I need to, tell this maybe 4 times. Is this in, like, reverse? So I need to rotate. Hold on a minute. Did I not plug that in? I did plug that in. It is so laggy. I'm going to assume it's because I'm streaming at the same time. I just wish I had you helping with my project, but you keep having fun. What was your project again? Did you just say it earlier? You said about moving, right? Or something? You said about your rent and everything. Oh my. Well, it's the right way, but none of that color's coming through, and I know why. Because we have subsurface scattering, and I've not plugged it into the subsurface scattering. Oh, was this multiply for subsurface scattering? Right. Okay. Interesting. So what I should have done was plug this into here. this should be plugged into here. To here. And then this should be in my subsurface color. Okay. There we go. Close to what I'm looking for. Put that back. So this is already extended over. It's actually going to be able to hear, isn't it? But probably want it to be something like that then. A little bit more stretched. Like that. And then we'll have two of those here like this. When we get those curtains. If it comes like that, we'll get a very dark scene. But we've got a light in here. And I'm going to keep it fairly open anyway. I'm going to do something like this when I actually have it in there. That looks pretty good. I'm not against that at all. I feel like the color's not yellow enough, though. So maybe I won't desaturate it fully. Maybe I'll go desat. Final Fantasy 10. God, I played 10. My favorite was always 9, and it was actually the scene I saw someone make recently. I can't figure where I'd find it. It was like the hello Willie, Final Fantasy 9 clock tower. Interior, is it a clock tower? I can't remember what the room is. Oh man, I'm not gonna find it. What if I just write clock, not the word tower? Man, it was a really cool environment, and someone made it in UE4 recently. It was a student. The amount of times I see a student do work that's 10 times better than me, and I'm like, how the hell are you a student? I'm like, I'll be honest, I'm a little jealous. Oh wait. All right, desaturating. Ah, that's a very nice orange, actually. So that's not desaturating that original color at all. That's desaturating the color. So if we go like a tiny bit in between, there you go. That's a nice color. So we got our curtains. Again, they're not perfect right now, but when I get the actual window and everything in, it should look a bit better. I think for me, it's just because I'm too lazy to get into the programming part. The only hobby project I got so far is Stanley Parable Remake. Oh, I love Stanley Parable. I wasn't too over keen with their deluxe edition. I thought the deluxe edition was going to be a free update, or at the very least like a couple of quid DLC, but they claimed that they remade the entire game graphically. But when I look at it, I'm just like, it doesn't look like it's worth the money. Stanley Parable, it's double the price of the original Stanley Parable. So you got, is this on offer? No, yeah. So the original Stanley Parable, wait, is this a trailer for the deluxe edition? No, it's not. Okay. Like, this looks very good graphically. Like, and then when I look at the new deluxe edition, Final Fantasy 9 is my favorite, so I'm glad people have been remaking it. Final Fantasy 10, I'm surprised that there's not more for that thing, because I definitely feel like Final Fantasy 10 was more popular, right? And then yeah, you get this one, and it looks the same. I've seen people play it, and the graphics look the same. So I don't know what they remade on the graphics front. I mean, maybe I'm completely out of line, but what's the positivity? It's got very high positivity. But I've completed the original Stanley Parable, so if they've only added 10% more game, I don't want to pay £20 for a game that's only £10. You know what I mean? Like, to just get a little bit of extra content. Like, let's see the negative reviews. Okay, weird review. I wish there was a neutral option. If you haven't played Stanley Parable at all, the game is worth the full price, go buy it. However, if you have played Stanley Parable before, it's better to wait for sale. See, this is what I had a problem with, because I bet the content isn't enough to justify a £20 price tag. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is like a whole new game. That's so true. Final Fantasy 7, I never played it, but yeah, that looked insane. It's because they call it a remake as well, not a remaster, right? The Deluxe Edition has more content. Is it worth it, though? I thought it was going to be a DLC, or you know, like when some games give you the option to upgrade. So if you have the previous one, it'd be like, oh, £10 to upgrade to the new one. But they didn't have that option either. They did the originals made in the Source engine. Yeah, that was ages ago. Now they put it into Uni. The whole point of the Ultralight Sludge is that's a joke about remakes. Is it really? But why they charge £20 for it? I don't know. I really wish it was an upgrade feature. Get on sale sometime. Yeah, I probably will. I love Stanley Parable. It's probably one of my favorite narrative games. Because a lot of people don't call it a game, or it's not a game, but I'm like, you're still interacting with things. It's not a movie. You're still interacting with stuff. As the curtains are done, we need to re-import all of this because we just changed it. Or if I do another smart unwrap on it. So I've only smart unwrapped those because they're all flat walls. I think I could get away with it. Okay, where Simpsons assets, walls. Here we go. I have a lot of work for my actual job at the moment as well. We've moved on to making this entire environment, and it's going to be very... I don't think it's going to be very stressful, but it's going to be a lot of work. Did that extend the wall out? Did that import it? Nope. What? Huh? Oh. Surprised that didn't break. Or did I not export correctly? Because I forgot, as always, to go File, Export, FBX, Selected Objects, Walls. Uh-oh, why is it frozen? Okay, it's back. Select it. Re-import with a new file, just to make sure. Walls. Come on. There we go. So it should be the exact same. All my walls should still be here. Nice looking. Except we should have a much bigger hole here. This I can technically re-import if I want. I'm not too fast, but I will do it. Just give me some more room. Whoops. That's an SL. It's more a statement than a game. Yeah. I loved it, though. Like, I really like puzzle games as well. Stanley Parable was basically a puzzle game about the puzzles, which isn't a bad thing because it was a narrative experience. But it's like when I played Antichamber. And Antichamber, I wonder if I could quickly stream it. Have I got it installed? Antichamber was probably my favorite puzzle game of all time. How big is it? 600 megabytes? Okay, I won't share it. It was just so get stuck in kind of puzzle game. You just went in and you did the puzzles, and they were all, so many of the puzzles were like a statement. They were sort of telling you life lessons as you go through, and I thought that was really cool. It's just a great format for a video game, and if any of you haven't played Antichamber, I'd recommend it. Best puzzle game I've ever played. Kitchen cabinets. I don't know actually what they're called. An engine. Oh, water saving. Nice. Put file. Kitchen cabinets. Cool. Nice. So I'm going to change them anyway. I don't care if they've all gone to one color. It makes the room very orange because of the lumen light bouncing. It's very cool. Now, is this window frame? Square window. Oh, so there is a separate asset. Oh, no, they're all combined into one. Okay. So the way that it should be done, I will replace them in the future. But what I will do is export these out as separate things so I could just place them in the environment instead of having it so they're all done by one origin point. Because obviously when I move all of them now, I'm moving all the windows. Some people prefer to do it that way. I don't like it at all. I like being able to edit the scene as much as I want. So I can't delete this then. What I need to do is export this out. Go to my desktop for now. I'll do it. We'll just call it Windows Simpsons. Let's get another Blender document open. And I basically need to cut that window out. A lot of this is cleaning up stuff. Desktop, Windows Simpsons. Look at that collision box. This one over here, I basically just need to delete. That didn't select all of it. Oh, thank that one. Delete, and then re-export that out. to my desktop. Windows Simpsons, come back into here. And then re-import that with Windows Simpsons. That should make that vanish. Boom. Nice. Cool. Get these aligned a bit better. I've never played Super Liminal at the moment. I really, really want to. I have it. I'd love to do streaming of me playing games, but no one ever watches me play games on stream. But, I mean, if you guys ever want me to play games on stream, I'm never going to say no, because games are very, very fun. Quite frankly, games are fun, and I'd love to play games on stream. That looks good. We'll have the sink here and everything. You get this nice light piece for it. I might have to pinch these here a bit more, or maybe give me a bit more room here. Because if you... let's look at the Simpsons scene, actually. Yeah, because I need to fit a rail in here. How much room do I need? Well, if we look at the floor plan, let's get to Blender. This one. Because I would have made that in line with... Yeah, see that? Technically, it needs to move it over here. If I move it over to be more accurate and slightly shrink it this way, and move this over here, slightly shrink this to fit this in. Because I'd rather keep it as much as I can to the original floor plan I'm using, so I don't make any mistakes. The problem with that, we have all this over here, so if I look at this... Right, so the cabinets are more squished, okay. Sometimes I won't be able to follow the blueprints, but for now, like, look how much this is being followed. For now, I will try my best, because it just makes it more consistent. Even if the blueprints aren't the most correct in the world, if I can keep the consistency there, we're going to see just essentially a better consistency overall. And that's more important, believe it or not, that's more important to see that consistency than to actually get it perfect. Because that might take a really long time getting it actually perfect versus just keeping a fairly good consistency. Alright, so that's pretty good. It's pretty accurate according to the floor plan. Go file, export. And this was the cabinets. These were the... Hold on a minute, have I pulled down the walls? Oh, look, we've got a bit of a pull down. That's fine. Grab both of these, pull them up to match that. Is that flat now? I can't tell. I think that's flat now, isn't it? Yeah, we're not changing anything there. Cool. So the walls... because like there's an actual window frame, we can get rid of this and keep this completely detached. We don't need that there. Pause. Simpsons room changed a lot. Don't get me started. Like, I was looking at the basement in one of the streams. Simpsons basement. Like, I don't know if this is the Simpsons basement, but if it is, completely different. Okay. Okay. This kind of matches that. It's still got the stairs tightly on the one side. We're missing, for some reason, that beam that was in this one, but that's fine. This one makes no sense. Completely different stairs. It's got a door down here. Like, where the hell does that door come from? It's on the wrong side of the room. Now, I don't know if that image is of the Simpsons basement or if that was supposed to be a different part. I can't remember that episode. You got this one, which is different. Look how much wider those stairs are. Look how much taller it is. Because at the top of the stairs, there's usually the ceiling. In this one, that's not the case. There's a door near the kitchen. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Oh, is it sometimes not there? I never knew that. I assume you mean this one? What do you mean the one that leads into the dining room? I kind of want to resize these actually to match this. I'm going to do that now as well before I export. I think I did already export, but I kept it shorter on purpose, but when I was viewing it in Engine, I didn't like it. So I want to rectify that. So can I do that? That doesn't work. Which one am I selecting from then? Here? No. Here? Is that the same now? If I give this this to here. Oh, it's slightly different, but that's fine. In fact, if it is slightly different, I'll just do it manually. Got this, got this, got this. Yeah, it needs to be a tad higher. I do a lot of eyeballing, and I know that annoys people, but because people are like, no, make it perfectly accurate. But I don't know. There's something about eyeballing it that's just very satisfying. So that's about right. Maybe a tiny bit lower. Save. FBX. Door next to garage. Oh, what you mean? Because, like, this is really weird, right? Because you go through this door, then you've got all of this. Now, this room is like a little play area for Maggie that you've seen in, like, a couple of episodes. This is a cupboard or a toilet. But to get to the garage, you actually need to go in here, around to here, and then in here, and that's your garage. And then to get to your basement, you come out this door, and you go down here, and then this. Down here would be your basement through this area. And then there's a side door to the house, apparently. It's so inconsistent, but that's kind of the whole point. That's, well, not the whole point, but that's just how that kind of stuff works. I'm not having a go at the original animators, because that's what you kind of expect. They don't need to keep the consistency because there's no reason to. I've said this before when doing my work. Oh, I'm lagging out. Hello. Yeah, I said this with my work, is that there's a lot of times when I'm not making my stuff to a real life scale. What did I just do? I'm not making my stuff to a real life scale anyway, because it's quicker to not have to measure everything in centimeters and stuff. And I know some people do sit there and they do take the time. Nice. Cool. They do take the time to get everything in perfect, like, to every centimeter and everything. But even when I was in university, one of the first things we were told, eyeball is much faster. That too, yeah. One of the first things, well, eyeball is much faster. This is kind of going with what we're saying, what I'm already saying about measuring everything in centimeters as well. It's quicker, and it's something you're just not going to notice, and you can usually interpret a more artistic feel to it when you're eyeballing stuff and you're just sort of doing it to look nice. And yeah, one of the first things we were told in university was, I think they said, in games, items, especially in first-person games, items tend to be 20% bigger. I think it was 20% bigger than they are in real life if you were to actually measure it in centimeters, or measure it correctly. Because for some reason, it just feels better. You can only eyeball it. Wait until you get outside of the house. It also doesn't match. True. Yeah, I could, because I would love to model the outside, but you're right, I could do it, and it might not look right at all, because where we've got the garage, I think it, like, the outside looks terrible right now because we don't have an outside, but I think if you look at it, it's looking, ignoring all these white cubes, because they basically are blocking volumes. So the house would need to be taller, because that's where this staircase comes up to. But if you think of the Simpsons episode, they have the barbecue here, they have this part here. You have a fence here that I've deleted for now. Then you've got Flanders' house, which is, you've got like these windows in here. We can start being a creeper. And if we look at the front, if I need another one of these windows over here, and then this is the garage, and then this will come up. You've got a roof here, and then you'll have your main roof here. So I think the sizing, exterior-wise, is also correct right now. The biggest worry is getting the second floor in and see how well the height of the house works. Get Mike. So the reason I got those blocking volumes in is because you get loads of light bleed. Where if you've got those blocking volumes in, they block out all that light. Yeah, 20% bigger. That's the reason why you can't just port games into VR easy. Yeah, that's so true as well. It's weird. There's a lot of artistic things you do in 3D that don't make any sense to the real life scenario, but it makes sense for games. And one of them is like overcast lighting. People hate overcast lighting in video games because they always say it doesn't look realistic because things don't cast a shadow. Whether or not people want to admit it, people prefer seeing a shadow being casted than to see ambient lighting only being casted. Like Overcast Unreal Engine C. People think like this looks far less realistic. That looks very good. So, bad example. But Overcast just causes no sort of sharp shadows. And more often than not, people will say that they think that looks worse than having a directional light casting a shadow. So if we go... Can I see? Like this. Look at the... That's a really nice effect. Even in this tiny environment, it just looks really nice. And one other thing that I've got taught by some experts recently is don't be afraid to have two directional lights in a scene. In reality, you only have one directional light. You have one sun. That's it. So you have one directional light in real life. However, for artistic purposes, so I'll load up one of my scenes. I think that's just the biggest thing, especially with stylized scenes. Don't be afraid to break the rules when it comes to reality, because it might make it look better. It might not be more realistic, but it might look better. And at the end of the day, that's all you care about when making a game, is what looks better. Unless you're literally making some sort of simulation game where you need it to be completely realistic. So I know an instant example in this scene, which is why I'm loading it up. So in the boat scene... floorboards. In the boat scene, so we have 3 light sources, right? And it's to help lighten up. And you can tell that it doesn't work quite correctly on the outside, because you get like these duplicated shadows over each other, because these should sort of share the same shadow density, but they don't. And I could technically remove them when you view it from the outside. So we've got... Oh, it's only got 2 now. So you got this light, and you got this light. Now, when I'm outside, maybe I should only have this light on because it is more realistic. However, hey, Nabble, when we're looking interior, when I'm inside, I like having these extra lights in. Again, it's not realistic. This light shadow should be casted, because technically a light should only be coming from here, which is casting this light here. No, which is casting this light here. I mean, more detail and more graphical demanding. That's true as well. And then the greatest example of why I want 2 directional lights for this scene is when you're down here, right? If we don't have the second directional light, which is this one, it looks... So, this is what it looks like with that directional light on. This is what it looks like without. Now, that's because our original light's coming from this area here. So, you're only getting probably casting it about here, right? Well, which is cool, whatever. But that's cool, the lighting drop. Whoa. But with that other light we got in, it lights up this room in a much better way. So technically what I could do is when I come to this room, we could turn off this light and only have this one beaming through. So I can set that up in my cinematics. And then when we go to other rooms, make a game with 3 suns. Exactly. When we go to other rooms, I could always just swap that over and only have this one on. But I like those extra light casts. It just looks more interesting. And like I said, people don't like unlit ambient light as much as they do hard shadows. People love hard shadows. Did I export those walls? I can't remember. So I changed them a little, didn't I? That's the same reason why paintings are looking flat until you add shadows. When you model, for example, realistic humans, some artists extend the upper eyelids because of the shadows. Yeah, exactly. There's so many different artistic ways you can take something to make it look, weirdly enough, look more realistic. Now, it's not looking more realistic, but from a lot of consumers' perspectives, they sort of build up that illusion that it looks more realistic because it looks better, even though what you've done or changed is actually going outside reality. I sound like I'm some sort of philosopher right now, but I hope what I'm saying makes a bit of sense. Why did I need to re-import this? Yeah, lighting go weird. Go. So I need to make around everything for here. I got the chairs in. What else were we doing? I lost train of thought. Oh yeah, I've got chairs there, I've got the light in. I want to do their fridge now. What does their fridge look like? Have I got a good image of their fridge? That's second table. No, none of that. Oh, I've not even got it up anymore. Simpsons Kitchen. They got a lot. I think respect the artists of this. Now, I know this is, I think someone else drawing up the scene, but they obviously got it from the original. And I think it's very cool. Because there's double sync. That's a huge window. Oh, I want to get the window in. That's what I want to do. But yeah, it's really cool because you get all of this, stuff on the sides. If you looked at my kitchen, I've got like nothing on the sides. We've got toaster, microwave, kettle, a couple like the tea, sugar, coffee, and I think a knife and utility thing. So we've got like this. We don't have a blender. We don't have anything attached to the walls. Toaster. We've got toaster. We've got draining rack. We don't have like a towel holder. So it's cool to see all this extra detailing. Now I'll have to add and make look kind of realistic, but it's cool to see. I love stuff like this. Our question: what do you think of the new Monkey Island art style? I personally like it. New Monkey Island. Oh, I wrote Money Island. Monkey Island. I mean, I love the old Monkey Islands. I watched my mum play them when I was a kid. I didn't actually get to play them myself. Oh, whoa. I don't know. Monkey Island 1. That's 2. 1. What did it... Oh, let me get some images up instead. What did the original Monkey Island look like? Wow. What did 2 look like? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know. I don't think I dislike it, but I think I instinctively dislike it because it doesn't really look like the old ones. But I think if it was a standalone game, I'd really like it. Does that make sense? Like, if they didn't call it Monkey Island and they called it a different adventure, like a whole different game, I think I'd really like it. But because I'm thinking of Monkey Island and it doesn't give me Monkey Island vibes, looking at this art style, I think it's kind of throwing me off. I'm not sure. So get the window frame in. So let's get a... Now, something I've noticed with Blender that I don't have a problem with Maya is if you export from its sort of origin point and then put it in, it will be a really weird scale. I'll actually show you. So in UE4, you have 2 choices for importing. You can import something from its origin point from its export, or you can import it from the center of the level. So if I do it from center of level from my Blender scene, it will have its origin point. I don't even know where it is. Here. It'll have its origin point here. So when I rotate it, it'll rotate around that origin point, which will look something like this. So if I were to rotate it and move it, it'd move around from here. Now, if I'm doing it from its origin point, it will do it from here, which is usually what you want. It really depends on the scene. And I need to organize my files as well. That's the wrong folder. Oh, I've not got the right folder open. Don't look at how much room I have. Actually, one of my hard drives is completely fine. Simpsons assets, walls. Oh, I should have put this in the same folder, like Windows is like kitchen window. So yeah, you have the option to here transform vertex. If you swap that from bake pivot point, it will bring it in. Wait, where'd it go? Wait, did it not import it? I'm really confused now. Kitchen window. SM underscore. Am I just blind? I'm probably just blind, aren't I? That's cabinet. Kitchen tip. Kitchen window. Look at how it imports. Look how small it is. I never had this problem with Maya. Because the two option, I think Maya would slightly be a different scale, but Blender just like mega scales it down when you import with those options. So what I tend to prefer doing back in Blender, we reset its transforms, then we go select cursor. Nope. Control C should put the cursor in this thingy, then selection to cursor. What am I looking for? Selection to cursor, keep offset. Such grid. I thought selection to cursor told me that. Oh, you can move it manually as well, so I can always just. Wow, I can barely see this. Let's hide it. There you go. So I can move it over here. Get it aligned to where I want. Now, I don't know if I want it at the bottom or if I want it in the middle. I think either's fine. And then I'll export that instead. Kitchen window. Cool. Undo that. Get it back. It's point it had. I'm going to make a story really quick. Then I'll be back. Okay. Took me also a couple of reviews to get comfortable, but is still lovely. There was a whole T-Storm about the art style, and now they won't show any new material until the game comes out. Ah, that's a shame. I mean, yeah, I think it's because when you think Monkey Island, there's like this memory people have of what Monkey Island looked like. If they kept it kind of more familiar to that, right now it looks. I'm trying to think of what art style it looks like. Not like a kid animation. Does it look like NFTs? Maybe, I don't know. There's like a style it has right now that definitely is unsettling for some reason. I'm not sure what it is. I just delete that and then re-import it with the other settings. So swap it back to here. Import. Now that should be at the right scale now. See that? That always bothers me with Blender, and I don't know really how to fix it. So if we get that, let's hide you for now. Pretty much aligned. The only problem with that, so if you export it around its origin point, it will put it in the perfect location. If we look at some stuff like the telly, yeah, look, it's got this terrible rotation point, but because everything's around that origin point, it will import perfectly where you have it in Blender. Most of the time, I don't really like doing that because I like being able to move stuff. I bet I can't even move this plant pot over here, or can I? Yeah, look, he's there as well. So if I wanted to make some adjustments to reflect more Simpsons, like, oh, I think Simpsons has it more here, I can still, but it'd be a lot more awkward because I have to select it and then move it around this weird origin point. It's from the same art director as Tearaway. Oh, Tearaway. Was that the one on the PS Vita where you put your finger at the back and like put your finger in it and stuff? Teardown's the recent one that came out, so yeah, it's incorrect when I said Teardown. Cool, I need a... these technically are going to be a bit higher because they need to be on a rail above, which means... yeah, they're much longer in The Simpsons. If we look at The Simpsons, they're fairly long. Now, I don't want to make new curtains. I'd like to be able to just use the ones we've got. Make it thinner and make them a tad longer, like this. Slightly clipping, so we'll also bring it a tad forward. There you go. Cool. Nice. Correct. It is that one. Thank you. I feel like I'm in class at school. Correct. God, could you imagine teacher did that? So who knows the answer to this question? Oh, miss, the answer to the question would be 7.2. It's just correct. Ding, 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 ding. Our survey says. How much cooler would school be if, like, answering questions was like a game show? Or do you think that'd be more stressful, actually? That it would be more like a game show? Let's slightly adjust it. Yeah, there you go. That looks a bit more central. Oh, wait. That's just the curtains there, right? Yeah, we've got, like, more of a gap here. Which is kind of how it looks like in the image I've got from The Simpsons. It does look like there's a smaller gap here. But I could change that later. We still need to put a rail in. So as long as that rail doesn't intersect with this. I mean, did I remodel this at all? Yeah. Re-import. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's about even now. So if we adjust this to look about central. Okay. Let's get... So I want to... We're just going to do something crazy. I'm just going to throw a basic color and everything right now. I like working with grayed out scenes. Wow, that makes the scene so much brighter. I'm German and working in a school, and I've said, oh my god. I actually wanted to be a teacher for a while. Let me come off of this because it's lagging out my stream a little bit. I wanted to be a teacher for a while, and I kind of still do. I like teaching. I have a tutorial channel. I haven't made a lot of stories recently, but I stream, and if someone comes in and has a question, I try to the best of my ability to answer it and try to teach people. That's the whole point to the stream. I want people to come in and I want to help them. But annoyingly, learning to be a teacher, I think anywhere, not just England or the UK, you have to do your PGCE. If you've not got a teaching qualification already. So you do a PGCE, which is a postgraduate certificate of education after university for a year, but you have to work in a school. Now, well, you don't always have to. Sometimes you can do it in a college, but 9 out of 10 times you'll do it in a school, if not more. Now, my problem with that is I want to be a 3D art teacher. They don't teach 3D art in school, so I'd have had to learn to do a PGCE, just sort of teaching IT subjects in a school with students who don't want to be there. Because let's be honest, most of us don't want to be in school when we're there. And I know for a fact that I just wouldn't have enjoyed it. It would have been a year of my life that I would have taken out, and I probably wouldn't have enjoyed any of it. And if I would have hopefully got a job in a college or a university, probably a college, to teach art. And that would have been way better. But unless I could have done my PGCE doing that, I just didn't want to do it in school. I didn't want to teach kids to do a subject I'm not interested in, and a subject they're not interested in. You know what I mean? When you're in college, you pick to be in college and you pick to be in university, so it makes more sense. But, oh. Let's close this. Open this. Let's get the tables and chairs in. I still need to UV map them and stuff. I mean, this won't even really need a UV map if we actually get into UVs now. I know it's very high poly, don't judge me. Oh my god. This button, there you go. If I were to unwrap that, I could just do it. Nope, I could just do it as a normal unwrap, and it should. Let's do that. Wow, that is high poly. Okay. And that'd be a perfect UV map. So that one's not too hard to UV map. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I'm probably just going to make it like a cotton material. I don't know. So I could do creases in it. Maybe I'll do that in the texture though. So I think I'll want to make the table all one asset. Oh, you know what? With this one, I should have curved the corners a little bit as well, just to give it a bit more shape. You know, just to add a little bit more detail. Cool. So we go you. Cool, that's our table. I should have called it kitchen assets, really. Kitchen. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to make a load of kitchen assets, so I don't mind making a folder now. Table and cloth. Export. Oh, no. I need to center grid them. Let's go to modeling, so I actually got more to look at. I should have kind of made these go to a flat point, really, shouldn't I? Oh, well. I can always change that later. Cool. Tip on cloth. Make them go back to the original position. Grab the chair. What I should actually be doing is, if it comes to here and just reset these little 0. Oh, that didn't even work. Oh, my numpad's not on 0. It should put them to align the center of grid. Then if I rotate you to 0, there you go. Put you down. That, and then export. We should be able to get the chair in. Kitchen chair, because there's probably going to be a lot of things called chair in the project. Cool. I don't know what it is. Looking at that chair from a distance didn't look right. Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, what? When I changed them, I made them go in a little bit. I did not realize that. That's more what they should look like. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, save that. Pop that at the center of the grid. And then export that. Kitchen chair. Chair, 1, 2, 3. Oh, don't get me wrong. Don't get me started. I remember, so the Simpsons scene was like a really annoying project. So I remember we were taught how to do modularity in school, in university. And they're like, yeah, try to make things as modular as possible. And I agree with that. Try to make things as modular as possible because it saves you a lot of time. And people aren't usually going to question why 4 chairs look identical because that's the whole point. You buy, in real life, you buy chairs in a set. Now, when I was making Monica's apartment for friends, everything was different. Like, if you look at her apartment in real life, Monica's apartment. She's just got such a mix match of different assets. Like, everything's different. And even the chairs at the table are 3 different models. These 2 are identical, except color. So there's pink and purple one, and then there's yellow one. They're identical meshes, but their color is different. And then you've got a different chair here and different chair here. She has 3 different models of chair on one small table. So I had to make 3 different models. It was really funny because I remember doing it at the time, like, well, I can't implement modularity at all here. That was definitely interesting. I want to redo that scene. I need to find it. I think I'll get a lot more viewership as well redoing the Friends environment. I think people would really enjoy that. So I want to do it. What time is it? I'll probably end the stream after getting these assets in. Uh-oh. That shouldn't be taking this long. Maybe that's fine. Well, one of them was... What did that take so... What did that, like, not show me where they were? Nice, okay. We have a chair. And we have a... Oh. What? I swear I just exported that. Did I just move that to go around the... Whatever. Grab you. I should probably combine these anyway. So grab you. Oops. You. Have these got modifiers still on them? No, they don't. So I should be able to combine all you together. Lovely. And come into here. Go 0, 0, 0. Cool. Make sure it's lifted up above to get a nice placement point. Export. Table on cloth. Undo its placement so we get it nice back in the other area. Bosh. Come back into here. Re-import it. No. Re-import, not with a new one. Just re-import. What? Why? Okay, whatever. Table on cloth. Ah, my foot's so itchy. Cool. Now that should just be tall enough that it's not interacting with the chair. The chair is slightly floating off the ground. Nice. Attempt 3 of getting this perfectly placed. Was it actually off the floor? I guess it was a tiny bit. I guess I reset that one as well, so it made it a little bit off the floor. There we go, perfect. And now it should be just sitting under that cloth. This cloth actually needs to be two-sided. If I grab this material that we're using, just plaster and everything, let's make it 0 specular, make it two-sided. I could then just throw that material onto here, onto here. There you go. So now if I look underneath here, we should have it on the opposite end too. Wow, a lot of that light's passing through here. That's interesting. Cool. Then we want to hide the freaking roof right now so I can see what I'm doing. Cool. Place that roughly where we want. And we should really have 4 chairs. I mean, where's the legs right now? Where's the lamb sauce? So we want like 1, 2, and we'll have them slightly offset to make it look a bit better. So the kitchen, according to the floor plan, this is pretty much the size that they should be. But in the show, I bet they make the kitchen look a lot bigger in certain scenes. But sometimes the kitchen looks cramped, and sometimes it looks like there's a lot of room. But that's going to be an issue the entire time we're making this scene, because it being drawn up over and over again in the show, they're probably going to be drawn to look different all the time. But that looks pretty good. Let's get the ceiling and everything back so it's not overly bright. Wrong button. I always pushed the wrong one. This button. Wait, what unhides everything? Oh, there you go. Cool. Then one by one, we'll just be making the kitchen assets, which will be fun. I want to get the rail in, because after we get that, we've got the curtains with the corn on it done. I kind of just want to delete this and make a new one when I get the chance to. And yeah, hope you guys have been enjoying the stream. I will call it a day for now. It's a 2-hour stream. And I kind of want to do stuff off stream throughout the week, if I find the time. I say that a lot, and then I never find the time. I do want to do some stuff off stream, so you guys don't have to watch me do a lot of tedious stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you're not part of the Discord, and you want to contact me outside of me doing a stream, you can always contact me there, and I will usually reply. And yeah, I will catch you guys next Friday. I'm going to move my streaming to Friday and Sunday, because Saturday we get no viewers. So I thought, and Sunday we tend to get a little bit more, not much more, we get a little bit more. So I'm going to go Friday, Sunday every week. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next Friday. Bye-bye.